I know some things are impossible, but I'm just not the type of person that likes to think about impossible things. Instead, I like to think about, is it impossible? Like this painting, for example. This is how it kind of all started. I was watching a movie about Bethany Hamilton, the surfer that lost her arm, yet still pursued to become a championship surfer. She inspired this painting. And the other thing that inspired this painting was the idea, would it be possible to paint a whole entire water scene, somebody surfing, without using the color blue, green, purple, no cool colors, only warm colors, yellow to red? And so that's what this painting is all about. Towards the end of this video, I'm going to share with you something that I would do and think about each and every day to accomplish my goals, like being one of 3 character designers for Tim Burton's Alice in Wonderland, or creating my own TV show and winning the Emmy for season 1 and nominated for an Emmy in season 2 last year. Hey everybody, Bobby Chiu here. I'm an artist working in movies, animation, games, and illustration. And today I'd like to talk about dreamers. There's many different types of ways to look at the world, to look at the people in it. One way is to look at people as the ones that are very grounded and the ones that are dreamers. People that are grounded are the ones that are stable and steady, low risk, logical, and generally they're always right. They're the ones that are dependable and generally will not take big risks. Dreamers, on the other hand, people like me, I think I'm a bit of both, but definitely a big dreamer as well. We're the ones that don't pay as much attention to things like success rates. Only a certain percentage of restaurants will survive past this first year. Or in my case, only a small amount of artists can make it independent. And only a tiny amount of art studios will ever make it past its first 10 years. Stats like this for big dreamers, it doesn't matter, right? And I feel like because it doesn't matter to us half the time, that's a huge part of why we're able to achieve those goals. I feel like most people that are in the percentages that don't make it didn't put enough of their hearts and souls into achieving their goals. And now before the comments get out of hand coming out saying, I tried my hardest, blah, blah, blah. There's definitely people that tried their very hardest as well. But once you gave up, then believe it or not, there's a bunch of people out there with the same goals that would not give up. And they'll keep moving forward. And the last people to ever give up are generally the ones that really make it out there. The ones that really make a difference. You gotta dream big. This also doesn't mean to just put so much effort into whatever your goal is that you burn out in a month, in 6 months. Putting in maximum effort also means the maximum effort to be as logical as you can. It's important to find our potential and not to go past it as well. Because we're in it for the long run, right? Our bodies, our minds, they have to last. The other thing about dreaming big is that I feel like everybody can achieve those things or some sort of version of it. Obviously, if you're 50 years old and you want to be an NBA player, it's extremely doubtful that that would ever happen. But I do believe if you put enough effort, logic, and time into things, then you could perhaps be involved in some way or another. And who knows, maybe end up with a championship ring because you're part of the association, part of the team somehow, some way. Now, back when I was starting, my career went nowhere in the beginning when I didn't dare to dream. I didn't dare to dream about having a studio in Toronto, Canada. That's where I grew up. That's where my family is. And being able to work from here, working on big movies and games and illustrations. These things didn't start to come true until I started to believe. And the belief generally has to happen before the dream comes true. Once I did start to believe in myself that my dreams were possible, that's when my career took off. I really feel like if you put your heart and soul into something and you strategize, don't forget about strategizing, that's the logic part of things, then you can make it. You can do just about anything that you put your mind to. It takes preparation and non-stop positivity and intensity to get to those goals. So think about what your dreams are right now. Think about it. Think about what is your ultimate dream. Not some dream you kind of lowered your expectations to. I'm talking about a dream where you're not thinking about the possibilities of how possible is this dream of truly happening. You're not thinking about how many jobs are there for that particular dream, especially for some jobs where you know it might take a few years to get to. There may not be a lot of jobs currently, but in a few years, who knows, maybe there's a ton of those kind of jobs. Also, when you're passionate and good, it creates jobs. Leave all those things aside and think about what you love. What is your ultimate passion? If I could bestow any job to you right now and make it happen, just the snap of my fingers and make it happen, what would you want? Paint the picture. Don't say I just want my foot in the door. I want you to be specific. I want you to create a visual image of that huge dream and see it happen. You're there. If it's being an entertainment artist like me, what kind of film was it? What kind of game was it? What kind of paintings were you painting? Visualize all these things and create that visual image. And when you visualize, try to visualize it from a first person point of view, not a third person. You know, you are in that body, looking around at achieving your goals. You know, Alice in Wonderland was the 6th movie I worked on, and the first to come out into theaters. The others all got canceled. And for many of those years, from when we first started the studio till when Alice in Wonderland came out, I had a dream that I would constantly visualize that I'd like to share with you today. So you can close your eyes and picture this as well. You're sitting in a movie theater. You are watching the #1 movie in the world. And you're excited. You enjoy the movie, and when the movie is done, you don't get up. Now you're even more excited. Why? Because you worked on this movie. And when you look around, you realize that nobody else is getting up as well when the movie is done. Because this isn't some big Hollywood premiere. You're still in your hometown. And when you look around in this theater, you're surrounded by your loved ones, people that you know, old classmates, friends, family, teachers, uncles, aunts, and they're all sitting there watching all the little names come up. And then all of a sudden they see yours in the list, and they erupt in huge applause and cheers. They are so happy, clapping their hands so loud, they look to you with giant smiles on their faces. Even the people that didn't believe in you are just shaking their heads now, going, I can't believe it, just tears in their eyes. Now take that amazing feeling and start to think, how did I get there? What did my art look like when I was working on this thing? How did I get to that level of art? When did I get up in the mornings all those days? How did I spend my time? Get into all the tiny little details and start to work your way backwards. What was the step before this? What was the step before this? What was the step before this? Kind of like going backwards in one of those mazes where you find your way with your finger or with a pencil. It's far easier to work from the end point back to the start point. And that's exactly what you're doing. You want to think about each of these days, each of these months, each of these years perhaps, that you're working towards these goals and all the tiny subtleties in between. What kind of person were you for you to end up achieving this? And now that you see that very clearly, embody that person. Picture that person as a part of you. And throughout the rest of today, do the decisions that you feel that version of you would do, because that person is part of you. That person is inside of you. And let the decisions of that person guide your life toward your goals. Thank you so much for watching. I hope this has helped you. Remember to not just subscribe to this channel, but also hit on the notifications so that you know when the next video will come out. Thank you so much. This is Bobby Chiu. Have a wonderful rest of your day.